Good morning, I'm Diane Macedo. Thanks for streaming with us. In today's update, new details in the alleged poisoning of Vladimir Putin critic Alexei Navalny. The Russian opposition leader's team says they found a nerve agent on a water bottle inside his hotel room. They released this video on Instagram from that room saying they now believe he was poisoned there and not at the airport. Navalny is in a Berlin hospital after getting critically sick on a flight last month. This week, he shared a photo with his family saying he's finally able to breathe on his own and sit up in bed. Over in California, Governor Gavin Newsom is sharing some cautious optimism about the western wildfires. He says most of the 25 major fire complexes are becoming increasingly contained, but the Bobcat fire in Los Angeles County is still posing a major challenge and is only 3% contained. The fires have burned at least 3.4 million acres and smothered the area in so much smoke, even the skies in New York City are hazy. And Hurricane Sally has left a trail of destruction in parts of the Gulf Coast. Winds ripped off the top of this building near where the storm made landfall as a Category 2. This is in Gulf Shores, Alabama. Sally also tore the walls off the side of an apartment building. You can see the rooms inside there. And downtown Pensacola, Florida was left under several feet of water, but has since drained. And we have some breaking news from New York City. 3 days before public schools were set to open for in-person learning, things are changing again. Mayor Bill de Blasio has delayed in-person classes for the second time and now says reopening will happen in phases according to grade. The mayor says the move comes after teachers' unions reached out with real concerns about safety, but he still insists real progress has been made. And now to a possible breakthrough in treating addiction, brain surgery. Doctors at West Virginia University are essentially using a pacemaker on the brain to try to curb addiction, and we got the chance to talk to their very first patient. This morning, a procedure used to treat disorders like Parkinson's and epilepsy is creating hope for those who suffer from addiction. Patient Jim Hudson suffered from an essential tremor for 30 years, but after undergoing deep brain stimulation, or DBS, he's made a remarkable recovery. Now the procedure is being tested to help curb cravings and anxiety.
The only thing that you want to do is get high because that's all you know how to do.
Jared Buckhalter has been addicted to opioids for over 18 years. He's now the first U.S. patient to have DBS treatment aimed at addiction.
I tried every avenue of recovery that you could possibly find.
Desperate, he turned to the Rockefeller Neuroscience Institute at West Virginia University.
When the addiction gets so severe, it becomes a brain condition, and there's a parts of the brain that is driving you to have increased cravings, and it's a drive for you to seek drugs.
Since Jared's repeated stints in rehab and therapy failed, Dr. Ali Rezai admitted him to an initial trial for deep brain stimulation.
It's very similar to a heart pacemaker, except the wires go into the brain. They're implanted in the part of the brain causing tremors to stop the tremors of Parkinson's disease, or a different part of the brain to stop the seizures from epilepsy. In this case, we're implanting them in a part of the brain involved in addiction.
For Jared, the results have been promising. He's now sober almost a year.
I was as bad as they can get, and if it can help me, then it can help anybody.
Now, it's important to note this treatment is in early trial stages, and it's really only intended for people who've already tried other treatments. But considering more than 100 Americans lose their lives to opioids every day, Jared's results are raising a lot of hope for the future. And speaking of hope, a new study shows eyeglasses could help in slowing the spread of the coronavirus. Researchers in China made the link after analyzing over 200 patients hospitalized with COVID-19. The study is preliminary and small, but it could have big implications. Our Will Reeve has more.
We know masks help prevent the spread of COVID, but could eyeglasses? A new study from Chinese researchers looking at 276 patients hospitalized due to COVID suggests just that.
What was striking is that only 5.8% of those who were in the hospital for COVID wore eyeglasses, whereas we know that 31% of the general population wears eyeglasses.
The study indicates wearing eyeglasses might offer people protection against COVID-19 infection.
This adds to a growing body of evidence that transmission can happen in different ways, and we've always been concerned about the ocular membrane.
Experts say COVID can be transmitted through your nose, mouth, or even eyes, all areas where the virus can attach to a particular receptor on the surface of the body's cells. The mucous membrane serving as an entrance for the virus. Which is why this summer, Dr. Anthony Fauci told ABC News' Dr. Jen Ashton wearing eye goggles or some sort of eye protection isn't a bad idea.
Theoretically, you should protect all the mucosal surfaces. So if you have goggles or an eye shield, you should use it. I mean, it's not universally recommended, but if you really want to be complete, you should probably use it if you can.
But many experts warn if you plan on wearing a face shield, a mask is still vital.
The larger droplets, they will get stopped. But the smaller droplets, they follow the air streams very, very well. So they can basically flow around the visor very easily.
The CDC has not issued any formal recommendation on universal eye protection. Like most studies on COVID, more research is necessary. Diane?
All right, Will read for us. Thanks, Will. And scientists say they're getting closer to figuring out exactly how the coronavirus transferred from animals to humans. Researchers at the University of Glasgow say they've found a single lineage responsible for the pandemic and that it's likely the virus first transferred from a bat to another intermediary animal before jumping to humans. They say their research also proves the virus was not man-made and could help prepare for the next pandemic. That study is now awaiting peer review. And for more science and technology headlines, here's ABC's Kenneth Moten.
In today's Tech Bites, President Trump is expecting a report today on Oracle's bid for TikTok. The president said he's not prepared to sign off on anything until he sees the deal. Critics still fear the company that owns TikTok would maintain access to information of the app's users in the U.S. Sony says the launch of its long-awaited PlayStation 5 will begin on November 12th, and it's going to cost $499, putting it on par with rival Microsoft's Xbox Series X. The new PS5 is tall and thin and comes in white with a black trim. Finally, AT&T is considering offering customers a way to save some money on their wireless phone bills. The company's CEO says to save $5 or $10, users would have to put up with ads on their phones. If it happens, it won't be for at least a year or so. Those are your Tech Bites. Diane, I would put up with so many ads just to see you on ABC News Live. Back to you.
Kenneth, I would put up with even more to see you in person, my friend, but I'll take you on the screen for now. And that does it for this ABC News Live update. I'm Diane Macedo. Thanks for joining us. ABC News Live is here for you all day with the latest news, context, and analysis. Up next, House Speaker Nancy Pelosi's weekly press conference. Have a great day, everybody.
Hi everyone, George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel, and don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.